Hello and welcome as we make our way from London to Morocco for another incredible road trip. We'll take you through Morocco's ancient capitals, to the Sahara Desert, through mud brick towns via Hollywood studios and the Atlas Mountains to the fabled city of Marrakesh. But we start in Morocco's modern capital. Here we are in Rabat, the capital of Morocco, the gleaming lights.
And it's raining.
Yeah,
no one ordered that.
But I'm sure we'll wake up tomorrow morning and things will be spectacular. I'll be honest, we weren't expecting a huge amount from Rabat. We'd been told it didn't compare with Fez and Marrakesh, and maybe it doesn't. But having just got off the plane from London, walking around the old Medina felt like entering another world. It's picture time. It's gonna
Always.
be so many gates and towers and tiles in this photo collection. It's going to be so dull. Photos ticked off, we make our way to one of the city's most famous sites, the Tower of Hassan. So here is the tower, built in the 12th century, incredibly. And all around us are these pillars of what would have been one of the largest mosques in the world had they ever actually finished it. Unfortunately, as so often in life, they ran out of cash. And then in the Lisbon earthquake of 1755, what was left all fell down, apart from this spectacular tower, which is quite the monument. Next to the mosque is the mausoleum of Mohammed V, who helped bring about Morocco's independence from France in 1956. The city also has more modern sites. The Mohammed VI Tower, just over the river in Saleh, is named after the current king, while the Grand Theatre of Rabat was one of Zaha Hadid's final projects before her death in 2016. We head back to the old city, slightly more slowly than we might have on previous trips, as we've had the good news that there are soon going to be 3 of us.
We're walking now into the Kasbah, which was originally the Rabat, which gives the city of Rabat its name, the fortified monastery that started the city off. But then in 1195, Al-Mansur came from the Almohads dynasty and built this beautiful gate and made it into the Kasbah that you can see today. And this was the base from which his family launched a campaign to take over the rest of Spain, and Andalusian Spain in particular. So it was the base for their whole empire in the 12th century.
Sadly, we've only got time for a quick wander around the Kasbah and its Andalusian gardens, because we have to hit the road.
Well, we are en route from Rabat to Meknes. And Meknes was once upon a time Morocco's 3rd imperial city. And it's most famous for being the base of a chap called Moulay Ismail, who took over in 1672, mainly by killing everybody who opposed him, and is in the Guinness Book of Records for having perhaps the most number of children ever, 800. I don't know how they verify that, but basically he was a bit of a lad. So we're going to go see where he used to hang out and where his mausoleum is. Woo!
The drive to Meknes gives us our introduction to Moroccan roads, which have more animals and pedestrians on them than we're used to. It wasn't long before we were at the city walls. Despite being just 2 hours away, Meknes still feels far more remote than Rabat. There are no modern trams or futuristic skyscrapers here. Instead, much of the city feels like it hasn't changed since the 17th century, when its walls and palaces were built. After parking, we dive into the winding alleyways of the souk, heading for our riad. When we get there, it's a beautiful jewel box of a place, and a complete contrast to the chaotic city outside. We're served mint tea on the roof. Welcome to Meknes. But we've got plenty to see, so we head out into town, straight to the mausoleum of Moulay Ismail, the aforementioned extremely fertile sultan who brought together Morocco's warring tribes at the point of a sword and made Meknes his capital. Somewhere are 2 grandfather clocks given by Louis XIV because Moulay Idris wanted to marry Louis XIV's daughter, but the Sun King was not so keen on that idea, but he did send to grandfather clocks in around 1688, and they're still working to this day. We'll put them in here as B-roll if we discover them.
Looking at the clocks.
Tick-tock.
They are telling the correct time ever since 1698.
Unfortunately for us, the famous Blue Gate of Meknes is being restored, but it's great to see so much building work going on to bring the city's walls and palaces back to their best. The city is also known for its markets, so we dived in to find everything on sale in the streets and undercover. After all this drama for the senses, it was a relief to find a bit of a refuge.
This beautiful courtyard is quite an oasis here in Meknes, because outside is the market, which is lovely in its own way, but very, very hectic. Lots of people shouting and bargaining, huge mounds of spices and sheep's heads and cow's heads. And we've come inside here, the Dar Jamai, which was a palace in imperial times and is now the National Museum of Music. And you can just hear beautiful music and birdsong and enjoy the shade of these lovely trees.
It's been a long first day, and all that's left to do is to end it with a tagine, albeit quite an unusual one.
This is the tagine. That's right. Egg and beef and sizzle.
Join us next time as we discover a wonder of the ancient Roman world, have lunch overlooking a town once barred to non-Muslims, and make it to the ancient city of Fez. See you then.